Islam is on the rise in Brazil. 70% of the new conversions have been women, and if a woman chooses to wear a head covering, she obviously stands out in the crowd. That, along with the fact that women are physically weaker, makes it easier for them to be targeted. There have been interviews conducted where working class Muslim women have accepted that they are scared to wear the hijab. Some say that they only wear it when they go to the mosque and avoid wearing them to their workplaces. Others have admitted that they have decided not to wear the head covering at all, out of fear. Some of the reported incidents include Juliana Vega de Sousa, a 28-year-old hijab-wearing woman traveling by public transport, was violently shouted at by a man. He harassed de Sousa and a friend, calling them weak and their men barbaric. A 26-year-old woman, while out in the market, was attacked and her headscarf was violently ripped off. The clip holding the scarf in place slashed her cheek. A journalist, Alice Barbosa, has expressed that any time she turns on the camera for online shows and talks, she can feel a heavy discomfort in the air because of her hijab. She has admitted that at times she has felt excluded just because of her choice to wear the headscarf. But also, within the Muslim women community, certain segments are more likely to be targeted than others. Within the Muslim community of Brazil, there is misrepresentation of gender, class, and race. Some Muslims came to Brazil as African slaves. A lot came from countries like Lebanon and Syria to escape crisis in the Middle East. And thirdly, there are the new reverts, with women taking the lead. But because the leaders of the Muslim community are, in majority, Arabs, they offer little protection to people of color, most of them working class women who end up being easy targets. The new reverts already face immense criticism and lack of support from their own family members. And when they go out to work and get harassed, the lack of a support system forces them to stay silent about these incidents and not report them. This escalates the situation, as the perpetrators are rarely held accountable. It's a no-brainer then. The majority of the women targeted are hence of African origins or new reverts. To a layman, these incidents might seem personal, but in fact, the atrocity that these women face is just a pixel of a bigger picture. Each incident is a small piece that fits into a big jigsaw puzzle. Seemingly insignificant incidents like this can have a massive impact on the dynamics of power, control, and world dominance. The perception of the Muslims has changed in the aftermath of September 11. The Western countries have been strongly propagating the idea that Muslims are barbaric. These countries have been extremely successful in spreading this image, thanks to their political and economic power and the use of media. If you're wondering why the West is hell-bent on ostracizing Muslims, one reason could be that, at the minute, Islam is the fastest-growing faith in the world. The West is insecure of the rising power of the Muslims. Going even deeper, if you're already aware of the prophecies of the end of times, the advent of a Messiah, a Savior, is an important part of all religions. And very subtly, they're all preparing for his advent. The Jews believe that a Messiah will come who will gather them in the Holy Land, will usher peace, and build the third temple. The Christians are waiting for their Messiah, the return of Jesus Christ. The Muslims are also waiting for the return of Jesus, who will come back to refute the claim that he's God. How does that relate to Brazil? As mentioned previously, the evangelicals are in a great majority in Brazil. But the recent friendship with the right has led to them to adopt Israeli symbols. Bolsonaro, during his campaign, can be seen standing to an Israeli flag on numerous occasions. Why? Because his support, along with the support of numerous other countries of the world, would lend more power to the Israelites and allow them to regain control of the Holy Land, which would accelerate the coming of their Messiah. And one way to gain more power and control is to oppress those who are in opposition, and that is exactly what is happening with Muslims all over the world, including Brazil. So is there something you and I can do to ease the situation? Firstly, Muslims all over the world need to be united. Unfortunately, Islam itself has divided into various factions over petty issues. This has made us weaker as an ummah. Putting our differences aside, we need to face the enemy as a united front. We can organize programs at our mosques and local community center and hold brainstorming sessions to address this problem. We should reach out to civil rights and organizations and make our government officials aware of any incidents or injustices that we face. We should spread awareness that all kinds of discriminations, whether against blacks, Jews, or Muslims, is wrong. We should make sure that we follow the sunnah of our prophet, remain tolerant and respectful, while getting our points across to people of other faiths. Lastly, we should always remember to make dua, so that Allah empowers us and guides those who subject us to oppression.